Hi, I'm Nick LUJAN, Director of Artistry and Education for Kevyn Aucoin Beauty, and today we are going to be talking about brightening up your under eyes and getting rid of these dark circles. Darkness around the eyes tends to make us look a little bit tired and a little bit older than we are. So to brighten up those areas, I have a few tips and tricks using some of my favorite Kevyn Aucoin Beauty products. Although we're here to brighten up our under eyes, every makeup starts with a perfectly balanced and prepped canvas. And for that, I'm going to be using the Sensual Skin Primer from Kevyn Aucoin Beauty. A little bit goes a long way, so just this little tiny amount is going to cover the full face, that full area. Start by pressing it into areas of texture and concern first, and then blend it outward and down. This is going to help to smooth down texture, keep your foundations and other products on for a longer period of time, and boost hydration of your skin. Now that my skin is prepped with Sensual Skin Primer, it's time to apply a little bit of foundation to start the coverage process. And for that, I'm going to be using the ETHEREALIST Skin Illuminating Liquid Foundation. This is a medium buildable coverage foundation with a satin finish. I love this formula because it's quick and easy, adds a little bit of hydration to the skin, and it's a nice buildable coverage, so it's very versatile. I started by pressing it through the center of the face and then blending it outward and downward from there. I'm not going to be doing my forehead since I already did it underneath my hat. But you can already see this brightens up around the eye areas just a bit, providing me with a little bit of coverage. Here's a pro tip. As we mature, our skin gets a little bit thinner, so applying just a little bit of foundation over your eyelids is going to help to even out skin tone a bit, give you a little extra coverage to hide any discoloration or veins, and it also helps to take a little bit of time off of your eyes. Now that my skin tone is more balanced, it's time to apply a little bit more corrector or concealer around the eye area. And for that, I'm going to use one of my favorite products called Sensual Skin Enhancer from Kevyn Aucoin Beauty. It's one of the original products designed by Kevyn himself. The two shades that I want to focus on today are shade number 14 and shade number 9. Both of these shades I would consider really good for correcting around the eye area because they are in the warmer family, meaning they're going to help to balance out any bit of like blue or purple or green from a dark circle. Where shade number 14 is more designed for deeper skin tones, shade number 9 is perfect for medium to lighter skin tones. Sensual Skin Enhancer is designed to be a complete coverage formula, meaning it's a great coverage that you can adjust by mixing it with a primer or a moisturizer or a radiance oil. Today I'm going to be using it in full force, and the shade I selected is shade number 9. I put just a small amount on my tool because again, it's complete coverage. You don't need very much. And I'm going to use my DUET concealer brush. I'm going to use the precision end. The DUET concealer brush comes with two sides. It has the precision side and the buffing side. And just so you can see, there's just a tiny bit of product on there, more than enough. So to apply my Sensual Skin Enhancer with precision for color correction, you want to tilt your head downward and look straight up at your mirror. So by tilting your chin down, you're able to see these little dark lines. That's where you want to apply your color correction and your concealer. So I'm going to take my Sensual Skin Enhancer in shade 9 and just fill right in those little hollows. So the shadow's being caused because I have a little puffiness right above that hollow. And then once I buff it out, you're gonna see a major difference. Shade number 9 is not my normal skin tone, but it's a color corrector. So that little bit more of that warmth, that red or that peach in that color is gonna help to cover up any blue or purple in my dark circles. And then afterwards you can go on top with foundation, or if the color fits perfect, you just leave it. Look at the difference from side to side. Much brighter and much more balanced. Now that my under eyes are balanced and color corrected, it's time to apply just a touch of brightness with concealer. And for that, I'm going to use the ETHEREALIST Supernatural Concealer in shade number 3. I'm going to take just a small amount out on the back of my hand because I don't want to put too much. I don't need that much brightness. I just want to brighten up a little bit. But keep in mind, this concealer, the ETHEREALIST Supernatural Concealer, can be used for touch-ups. It can be used as an eyeshadow base for highlight or contour as well. Super multifunctional. It's a long-lasting, self-setting concealer. And to apply it, I just put a little bit on the fluffier end of my brush, and I'm just going to dust this right on this inner corner of the eye and retrace the steps of my Sensual Skin Enhancer with a sheer amount of the ETHEREALIST Supernatural Concealer. I love to use this product to base out my eyelids for eyeshadow, so I'm going to take a little bit right up top and dust it through there as well. all the way up to the brow. So now my lids are prepped and ready for whenever we decide to do eyeshadow. Now that my complexion is balanced and my under eyes are corrected and brightened, it's time to lock everything in place with a thin veil of loose setting powder. And I'm gonna be using Kevyn Aucoin Beauty's loose setting powder, which I'm absolutely in love with. I love the formula because it's outstanding, but I also love the packaging. The cap screws on tight, and then there's this nice little door, this little secret door that keeps your powder from escaping when you're traveling. To use it, I'm gonna take a little bit out onto my palette and load a brush. And to load the brush with a loose powder, hold it upright and give it a good tap on the table. Then you wanna just gently press and roll to lock everything in place. I have a different method for under the eyes that I wanna show you now. So for under the eyes, to lock it in place with a powder, I'm gonna use two different tools. I'm gonna use the back of a lip brush plus the fluffier end from my DUET concealer brush. I'm gonna load the fluffy end of the concealer brush with a little bit of loose powder right here in my palm and set this aside for now. And then next, with the back of your lip brush, just gently press and roll around the eye area. This is gonna help to remove excess product, push your concealer closer to the eye, and because it's cold, it's gonna firm up that skin. And then before too long, you want to set it with a little bit of that loose setting powder with your brush. Applying powder like this is gonna ensure that your concealer is locked in place and is less likely to crease throughout the day. Just as another tip, I love to put a little bit of loose powder also on the eyelids to help facilitate blending. That thin veil of loose powder over everything before you go into your powder brusher, your bronzer, your contouring powders, it's gonna make everything blend so much smoother. I really enjoyed sharing all of my tips for covering up a dark circle and brightening up around the eye area. Whether you're using your Sensual Skin Enhancer or your ETHEREALIST Supernatural Concealer, we can't wait to follow along in your makeup journey. So tag us at Kevyn Aucoin Beauty and hashtag Team Kevyn.